Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here from Circuit Spa. Circuit of the, I don't know how to pronounce it. We'll just call it Spa. Here tonight from Spa with Joe Burchett with me in the booth. I'm Adam Chapman. Joe, welcome to Spa. This is a track everybody knows, everybody's familiar with, and it's a very fun place to race.
Yeah, good to be here with you tonight, Chapman. Yeah, Spa. It's one of the cornerstone road racing circuits, in Europe. So it's gonna be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, everybody on iRacing pretty much familiar with this place because of 24 hours of Spa and all that good stuff. So everybody kind of familiar. One interesting aspect that we actually just learned is that the sun will eventually fade and we'll be racing right around darkness as the race progresses. So that's going to be fun here in this 19 turn, 4.35 mile track. Joey was just talking about this prior to coming on the air. LMP2s, yeah, we're definitely going to see them lap the field, I'm sure at least once. But I don't know if we'll see them again after that.
Yeah, I mean, with this track being, a fairly large circuit, it allows enough room to where these guys can really space out from one another, especially the three different classes. So, yeah, I would say your LMP2 class is probably going to lap both the GT classes at least once. They may catch the GTD field maybe a second time right towards the end of the race, but that's probably as far as you'll see them, lapping up again. So that'll throw that little bit of effect of the multi-class into it. Probably somewhere about mid I guess pit run is what you would call it in this series, because it's not really a fuel run, so to speak. Because well, I guess you could say it's a fuel run because they're running lower fuel, but I guess somewhere around the middle part of a fuel run for these LMP2 cars, they're gonna start encountering the tail end of GT traffic, so that'll kind of throw a wrench into their strategy plans for here. But I think by the end of the race, everything should be somewhat spread out to where I don't think really the GT class is going to come back into that much of an effect the outcome of the LMP2 field.
We talked about fuel mileage here. Fuel in general is going to be big here. With this track being so big, you definitely don't want to be pushing your boundaries on making it to the end. Of course, you've got to have enough to get back around to the pit road so you don't get a 4-point penalty. Not only that, the points right now are pretty close. In almost every category. The top category, the LMP2, is very close, with Colin Weatherholt leading the points right now by 3 points over David Shutt. So that's going to be very interesting. Mark Wilson sits third in there as well. Mitch Heller got a pretty decent lead over Terry Dahl now with a 29-point lead over Terry. And then a little bit further back, Paul Gibson has pretty much, I don't want to say locked up the championship, but he does have a pretty big lead, about a 57 or so point lead over Chris Shieldsmith. So that's something we're kind of watching a little bit of tonight. Of course, we are at Spa here next week. This is week number 9 on the schedule. And next week, if I'm not mistaken, we actually go from here to Imola. We go to Circuit Giles Villeneuve. I forgot. This is week 9, so we can Circuit Villeneuve, or Giles Villeneuve, which is fun. I believe that's up in Canada, right, Joe?
Yeah, it's the Montreal Street Circuit.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. We got Imola and Detroit, so looking forward to tonight's race. Qualifying is actually going on right now. You guys can kind of see that. We'll hop over to the big screen, and you guys can see Colin Weatherholt right now on top of the board. David Shutt just actually jumps up to second, and we will jump down to some of the qualifying here. You guys can see Kevin Riddell out there as well. Joe, one of the biggest turns that Spa is really known for is coming up the hill. I believe it's called El Rouge, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of it. Is that the name of it? So talk a little bit about that turn, especially with the GTEs, because I know you're more familiar with them than the LMP2 cars, but talk about driving that turn.
Well, it's a kind of a switchback. It's you going into the corner at the bottom of the hill. It's a left-hander to start with, and then it's kind of like an off-camber right going up the hill. So it fades back to the right, but for the LMP2 cars, they're pretty much from the way I've been watching them here in practice and qualifying, they're pretty much going through there wide open. With the downforce they have, it's not a factor. The GT cars, I'm pretty sure that they're about going through here wide open. I know they've made some
Yeah.
upgrades for these GT cars now, and they're basically about capable of going through there wide open. But the thing you'll need to watch out for here tonight, as the racing progresses, especially LMP wise, these
When they
cars
catch them.
they poke a really big hole in the air, and car behind can draft really well.
Yeah.
So you're going to really see through, if they can get tucked in going up through a Rouge, up the hill, and they get onto the straightaway behind, on top of the hill, it's going to really set them up going into that right hand corner.
Yep, turn 5 and 6.
Yeah, to really kind of make an ample opportunity to really pass. That's probably going to be one of your big passing zones tonight. Probably in all 3 classes, because with all of them they'll be able to really draft down through the last corner, down the front straightaway, and then into turn 1 into Eau Rouge. And if they set yourself up coming out of the last corner, they should be able to kind of really suck up and stay right behind the guy they're racing. And as they come out of the right-hander at the top of the hill, the right-hand portion of Eau Rouge, it should give them a good momentum to really kind of pull up and side draft them down the straightaway. And if they can make their opportunity work, they should be able to kind of clear them by the time they get to the corner.
My favorite turn is turn 10 of Puan.
Yeah.
Just because I'm pronouncing it. That's my favorite turn. But talk about that, man. This track is very, very sensitive when it comes to off tracks, and that is one section. Turn 10 and 11 can definitely have that happen.
Yeah, I mean, with these cars, and the setups these guys use, they're not really on their own going to really push the track boundaries,
Right.
so to speak. They have the downforce to really stay stuck to the track, not really slide and get the incident points. The thing you're going to be watching out for is when they get racing multi-class. That's where you'll see the off tracks really come into play, just because the side by side. These cars are big. You don't realize really how big they are until you see them start racing side by side. Especially the GT cars, they're pretty wide. So
there you go. So we got 17 laps here tonight is what it is scheduled for. Start time is 7:10 p.m. is what the scheduled start time is, but the estimated end time will be 10:10 p.m., Joe, from what I'm seeing. So, of course, everything's progressed as far as time goes, but 10:10 p.m., that may be dark completely. I mean, we talked about it, and you heard about it as well, but going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pushing it right up on the darkness boundary. So, if they poke into night, it'll be definitely something exciting to see here at the finish with basically no lights here on the track.
Yeah, so very much looking forward to this. As the grid is starting to grid up here, we're getting ready to roll. See all the cars down on the grid right now. Everybody gridding up, getting ready. I think we actually roll from the back stretch, so cold tires could play a little bit of an issue here going into turn 1 and turn 2. Turn 1 is going to be really interesting at La Source, I believe was the name of the turn. A very tight right-hander. We've seen lots of accidents happen over there plenty of times in official and league races. So that's something we're really going to watch out for as we get ready to go. We're waiting on just a couple more to grid up. Should be fun. I do love this track, man. This is one of my favorite tracks to race on.
Yeah, this is probably your bucket list track on iRacing if you're a road racing guy. And if you come in and you race Spa, you do well at Spa, it's probably going to be one of your favorite tracks going forward.
I agree. I think it's definitely a very tough track to learn, but once you get it down, it's a really fun place. It took me a long time to really learn it, and I still don't know everything about it by any means, but still love racing here. But you see up front at 21 of Colin Weatherholt with Ross Boots right beside him. David Shuck going to be starting in third, and then Mark Wilson right there in fourth. So good front 2 rows here in the LMP2s, as looks like everybody pretty much gridded up, and here we go, rolling off the grid and get this one underway. So you will see these LMP2 cars get a pretty good advantage over the GTD and GTE cars. They will all space out. I think there's like a 10-second or so gap that they try to leave for each one. But we'll see. And here we go. This right here is the back stretch that we was kind of talking about heading into what would be, I believe this is turn 18 and 19 coming up here. This right here is turn 17, and you go pretty much full throttle, breaking into turn 18 and 19. Todd Chase just sent me a bucket of popcorn as he's watching. As we get ready to go, and the green flag set to come out. And we will wait. On the other side, that's right.
Yep. They'll go through the last corner, and the pace truck will pull in. So
that's probably a good thing, I guess, in a way, because turn 1, I guess, right here is usually pretty brutal.
Yeah, it'll make Rouge a little tight with these guys racing down into the bottom, but should be exciting.
Here we go. Green flag set to come out. LMP2 is ready to get underway. Pace truck drops in as we wait. Green flag is out of the air. We're racing here for LMP2s. And we will head down into El Rouge, up the hill. You guys will see that right there. Everybody looking pretty good now as the GTE set to get underway. You guys are looking live at Mitch Heller, Terry Dahl, John Koshilniak, Bill Paul Lucky as they take the green flag here at Spa as well. Up the hill they go. Everybody looking pretty solid up the hill there. And once they start getting going, we'll jump back and we'll see right here. The GTD set to get underway. 7 cars, GTD class here tonight. 8 cars in GTE, as well as 9 cars in LMP2. Pretty good up the hill right there, and we are good. All right, jumping back up front to the LMP2s. We'll hop on board here and ride with Cameron Bidwell as he heads into some of these corners. There you go, right behind Colin Weatherholt. Actually, I did not realize David Shutt actually took the lead, Joe, here early. Weatherholt falls back to 3rd.
Yeah, while we were watching the start of GTE and GTD, looked like David was able to kind of get a really good launch there on the start of the LMP2 class, and as they got up to the top of the hill, like we were kind of saying in the pre-race show, yeah, he was able to really tuck in and kind of draft down the straightaway, and he pulled out and was able to take the lead. And the way it kind of set Colin up, it allowed Ross to kind of sneak in there behind him. And I think Colin got the car a little upset on some rumble strips and allowed Ross to kind of get by him too. So it's kind of a little disappointing, I know, probably for Colin to go from being the pole sitter and then a couple corners being already running 3rd. But, he's not out of it. It probably puts him in a good spot. So he can kind of sit there, ride behind Ross, save a little fuel, be able to draft, and possibly be able to take a little bit less fuel at the pit stop and kind of save him a little bit of time and gain that time back.
We've seen people save gas. You've been in that situation plenty of times. You've seen Mark Wilson taking a spot away from Cameron Bidwell up the hill. And Cameron actually under attack now from Ryan Robertson as well in the LMP2. But we've seen fuel mileage be a big thing, and this one definitely going to be a big thing here. If you can save just a little bit, it definitely could help you somehow. But you see Bidwell able to hold off Robertson. We'll jump back a little bit here in the field. Actually, Paul Gibson has given up the lead to Nikhil Kopker. Nikhil taking the first position as they head into turn number 1. We've seen this prior. A few weeks ago, Nikhil able to get a lead and fend off Gibson a couple weeks ago. But on the pit stops, Nikhil kind of lost that, and Gibson was able to ultimately win that race, but they had a good battle throughout the entire night.
Yeah, I almost wonder if Paul and Nikhil, their plan, it looks like early, is to kind of just fall in line, let one or the other kind of get the lead, and then they kind of work together and try to pull away from the rest of the field and kind of just make it a 2-horse race, and then they really just duke it out from there. Yeah,
that's a good way to look at it. I mean, the PG-13 guys, we know how good they are. We're sure that they practice throughout the week as well for these races. So maybe that's just strategy coming in to this. Terry Dahl up to second right now, trying to run down Mitch Heller, of course. Mitch out front. Terry right now may have an issue. No, we don't. Never mind. Terry right now running second at Hamburg Brewing Company. Ferrari. Well, Joe, we were talking about this last week, and we're not seeing it too much tonight. Well, I guess not too much tonight, I guess, but I've kind of noticed over the past few weeks the Ferrari has kind of phased out all the other cars in that class, same as the other class where the Lamborghini phases out the BMW. It's a little bit different now. We're seeing more of a mixed field, but pretty interested to watch that over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I was able to participate with these guys last week at the Hockenheim ring, and I ran with them a little earlier. Well, we've got a little bit of a developing story. David Schutt's got a little bit of a blinking problem, so hopefully he kind of gets his ping and stuff leveled out, because he seems to be slightly blinking from time to time.
Hopefully that balances out.
Hopefully it doesn't disconnect him from the race. But
watching Ross and Colin, actually, they was going back and forth quite a bit there for a couple turns, and Ross was able to defend that position. We'll see if Colin can get a run down one of these straightaways that we're coming up on. Maybe try to use a little bit of that draft, which of course it looks like Ross may have a little bit of draft here as well, but we'll see right here and see what happens. Todd's literally over eating a whole bucket of popcorn watching this. So kind of a 3-car breakaway. David Schutt, Ross Booth, Colin Weatherholt. I think these guys also announced the summer series, which we haven't looked into too much yet. But I believe, Joe, you kind of mentioned, I believe it was one class, I do believe.
Yeah, I can't remember all the details, but I think they're going to revive the GT4 class. I know that's either going to be one of the classes or maybe be the only class. I'm not 100% sure on the details, but kind of heard them last week, kind of talking, and I think it looks like that's probably going to get the revival of a little bit of GT4 for the summer.
Yeah, I'm sitting here reading about it right now as you look at John Kashuniak and Christopher Jimenez. Looks like this season with the multi-class, the sign-ups are on hold, but you can go ahead and sign up for the 2021 Summer GT4 Series that will begin on June 17th. So, still a few weeks away, of course, from that, about a little over a month, but if people are wanting to get on it, there you go. So he's been around for a long time, so good to see that happen. So looking around, not much really happening, Joe. That's one thing about Spa. You get spaced out. Like, really, you're not racing everybody around you. You're mainly racing the track because it's so easy to make a mistake here. That's what I've learned racing here anyway. But definitely typical right now, I think, with what we're seeing. Really, the only closest battle we really have is for the lead over in GTD, but I think it's pretty typical Spa right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys kind of understand, it's a 30-minute, basically,
pretty much,
45-minute race. But they also know, the first 10 to 15 minutes is not going to win them the race. But it can definitely lose them the race. So it just kind of gets settled in. They know that the pit stop's kind of going to be where they need to really get it ramped up and basically execute to the 100%. So, I think they're kind of just somewhat getting, in a rhythm so that they're able to kind of just execute when the time comes.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one thing about these road races that I've learned with you in general. You got to take care of your car first and foremost to be there at the end. And this is a place where a mistake can cost you, and really you're probably focused on a lot, trying not to go off track right now because you don't want to get the X limit because, of course, it takes away a bonus. If you can get out of here with a 0X limit as one of the leaders, that'll help you quite a bit, I feel like. New fastest lap, Colin Weatherholt puts down the new fastest lap of the race, of course. He's currently sitting third in LMP2. Still watching the battle right now, GTD. You guys can see that going on right in front of your screen. You're looking at Paul Gibson trying to run down Nikhil Kopker right there into 42, both PG-13 drivers. Looking around the racetrack, Weatherholt also still putting a lot of pressure on. Actually, we can go ahead and say their top 3 LMP2s are still within striking distance of putting pressure on each other right now. Mitch Heller still out in the lead in LM or GTE. Also, guys, real quick, we will be live this Sunday night for the American Sim Racing Series. Kind of a new season just got started over there last week, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. Talladega will be this week, May 16th. So if you like some restrictor plate racing, tune in Sunday night. We'll be live for that. That'll be fun. And then we will be back live again on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. Also, if you're looking for a new season, a new league, another Oval League starting up June the 1st, I believe it was. Chapman Outdoor Adventures Xfinity Series. Todd Chase Jr. will be putting that on, running Tuesdays. Kind of short races, not too long of races, but not too short. It's going to be fun. If you guys looking, you can message me here, and I'll get you in contact with him on trackside. Terry Bradshaw, Marcus.
So, kind of just to point out, looks like it's going to take the LMP2 field about 6 laps to catch the tail end of the GTD.
So that was a lot quicker than we thought it would be.
Ooh, got an incident. Ross Booth and Colin Weatherholt.
Yep, got you. Oh, right across traffic, too. That was a close one. We're going to get a replay on this. This is a big one. This is really big for David Shutt. Here's the replay. And, Joe, we talked about it. The slower traffic going up that hill, always a tough situation. Oh, boy, Ross. That was not going to hit much harder than that. Here's another replay. Did Ryan Robertson get involved, too? He's on pit road. Trying to get a better view of this. Up the hill they go. Ross in that blue or light blue car. Looks like he kind of came down a little bit. And here comes Ryan Robertson. He actually elected to come to pit road. So that's going to end Ross's night. We need to check Weatherholt's car. See if we can see some damage. Not that I can really tell. There's not much, but going to cost him a lot of time. Actually drops back to 3.4 seconds now behind race leader David Shutt. And they're starting to work through some pretty heavy traffic here as they go through the GTE class.
Yeah. Looking at the incident there with Ross and Colin, looked like Ross was just kind of got caught behind the GTD car there, kind of going up the hill in a Rouge, and I think Colin was trying to make a pass on him while they were both kind of getting around the lapper, and just unfortunately to me it just looks like a racing deal. Colin seen the opportunity to kind of shoot up the inside, going up through up the hill, and he took the opportunity because it's
you
there.
Gotta take it, yeah.
You've got to kind of if your competitors put into a tight spot, and you think you can kind of get it a little bit of an advantage. As a racer, you're going to do it, and just unfortunately they got together, and it's going to put Ross probably out of the race, and it's really going to
Weatherholt's on pit road.
Going to hurt Weatherholt there for the rest of the race. It's basically kind of opened this up for David Shutt to kind of just get like I said earlier, get settled in, get into a rhythm, and just run and hide from the rest of these guys. Yeah,
what's really big about this is Weatherholt's now on pit road. So this is going to be a great opportunity here for David Shutt to gain some points and take back the lead in that points division for the LMP2 cars. So looks like Weatherholt is done on pit road. He just exited pit road. But, Joe, I'm thinking lap 7 probably going to be still short, I would guess, correct? It'll be close.
To be honest, I don't know the fuel window in these cars, so I'm not 100%, but I'd say that he's probably going to be pushing it on fuel, to say the least.
Yeah, so he is in or was in and took it and filled it up.
Now, look, one thing to point out as well with the incident between these two guys, this league does utilize one fast repair for these cars,
Right.
for all the cars here tonight. So Colin and Ross are going to be able to use a fast repair to quickly repair their car and get back out onto the track and continue.
That actually, they caught them GTEs or GTDs way quicker than I thought they would. I mean, you said that there was a chance they could definitely catch them twice, and we're seeing it where they could catch them twice.
Yeah, with it being a 17 lap race, and they caught them on lap 6. That looks like, and with pit stops coming into effect as well, there's a chance that they could catch them at least twice, and almost possibly a third time, depending on how quick, how much they keep the pace up.
So that's something to watch out for as you see the battle here for third. John Kishoniak, Christopher Jimenez. Kishoniak right there up in front in that 04 car, the black one that you see on your screen. I do want to mention that also Les Turner is up to 4th in LMP2s. James Pro's still up to 5th. Haven't really talked about them since the mishap of Colin Weatherholt, who is now back in P7. Do want to mention Ross Booth is back on track as well. So he is not going to go down without a fight by any means. William Kabbalah is on pit road in the 25. So possibility that we are seeing scheduled pit stops for this LMP2 class. But he is on, so we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be enough fuel to get Weatherholt to the end. Bidwell still putting some pressure on Mark Wilson now, who's up to P2.
Yeah, we're basically right on the cusp of being kind of halfway in the race at this point. So, I think these guys are probably going to make it for sure at this point. I think they're able to put, what they've had in the car to start the race. And, with David being on lap 8, coming to lap 9 now, and it's being a total of a 17 lap race, he's only got basically 7 or 6 laps, coming to 6 laps to go now. So,
Marcus over here on YouTube said he'll wear his helmet when he drives. I mean, are you even racing if you don't wear your helmet when you drive, Joe?
I know, man. Come
you
on.
gotta wear it.
Yeah, I mean, if you gotta wear the helmet, you gotta wear the gloves, you gotta wear the shoes.
Joe wears the whole suit.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a driver's seat, you might as well wear it, man.
You gotta wear the suit if you race.
Now, what I'm waiting on is for them to make a VR headset to put into a racing helmet.
That's
gonna be the coolest thing.
That would be pretty interesting, though. It's a wonder if somebody hasn't really modified one, like kind of take the shield off.
Yeah.
And put the VR over it where the shield was.
Man, thinking about that, though, that thing's gonna be
You'll
hot.
burn you up. You've really been a car then.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to have a fire extinguisher beside you.
I'd have to have a really, really big fan. Start just blowing air up in there.
Mark Wilson, by the way, just took away, actually tried to battle Cameron Bidwell. Good racing here between them two. Right now, Bidwell has a nose out in front. Going to go preferred line here, but Wilson will have the preferred line into Puwan. And there you see it. Almost a little bit of contact between the two. Good racing here up in the LMP2s between second place. Kind of swapping back and forth. Mitch wears the top part of his suit. Yeah, you got to.
Oh, that's why Mitch is so fast. Okay, I understand now. Yeah.
I mean, it puts you in the mood, you know?
Yeah.
Joe wears the shoes when he races so his feet don't get hot.
Yeah, most of the time I do.
Now, you do wear gloves, though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys do actually wear gloves. That ain't no lie. It actually does help with because Joe, for a lot of people, and even in here, wearing like a Fanatec top wheel, got such strong force feedback that really gloves do help for grip levels. Plus, you don't want to get your wheels sweaty. Them things are expensive. So,
yeah, and it kind of helps as well too. Cause, blisters are a factor.
As you hold it tight.
Yeah.
You ever white knuckle it?
I have a few times on occasion, but Yeah, it's usually got the death grip on those things.
Mitch wears flip flops in his racing suit. Good pair of racing shoes there.
I mean, as much as we're getting the descriptions, it sounds like we need a picture of this.
That is true.
I mean, to go along, you know.
Maybe we can get one for the next broadcast. That'd be funny if Mitch was literally sitting there, racing gloves, top half of a racing suit, and Crocs or something.
Yeah.
Cameron Bidwell on pit road. Right now, everybody's pretty spaced out as far as the leaders go. Heller has a 10-second lead over Terry Dahl. David Shutt has an 11-second lead over David Shutt has an 11-second lead over Mark Wilson. Nikhil is about the only one that does not have a big lead over Gibson, but still a 1.2 second, which is pretty solid overall for him to be leading Gibson. That's pretty comfortable with him being as good as he is. Mitch is faster than a knife fight in a phone booth. A weird description, but yeah, we'll go with it. If you know, you know, I guess. So we should start seeing everybody hit pit road. Joe, one thing I have noticed is the darkness starting to set in. And if you guys haven't never seen Spa at night, yeah, you're probably not going to see much. You're just going to see headlights because this track, when it's say dark, it's completely dark, Joe, and you know that.
Yeah.
I think the only light is right out of turn 1, I believe.
Yeah, the only lights that they have that are you'll actually kind of light the track surface up is down the basically what they call the F1 pits. That's
yeah.
The normal last turn 1 here at Spa, and then the classic pits that they use for the endurance events. That's down the backside here that they're actually using tonight as the pit lane.
Yep.
Those are the only 2 areas that actually have any kind of lighting that's standard and that's you'll actually be able to noticeably see inside the car and outside the car.
Pit road pretty busy right now as well. Les Turner on pit road. Terry Dahl just now leaving pit road. John Stuniak leaving pit road. Bill Palucky leaving pit road. Dwayne McCarthy and also Keith Ostracker on pit road as well. You see Les in the pit box here. He will be going here shortly. He just got passed by Weatherholt. We're not quite sure if Weatherholt will have enough fuel to make it to the end. I believe he will. I mean, these guys have went 11 laps so far. David Shutt. And right now, Weatherholt has been 4 laps. So he can still go at least 7 more laps. So he should be good. Overall, we'll have to wait and see, but who knows for sure. Yeah,
like I said, it's going to be pushing it, but
yeah,
we're not really 100% confident, but we're gonna safely kind of say that we're pretty sure he'll make it to the end on fuel.
Here's first and second, and GTD coming out at the same time out of pits. Nikhil and Paul Gibson both exiting pit road. So this pit road exit very easy to make a mistake and get a bland line violation.
Yes,
that is one thing about this track that happens. Chris Menez, we got somebody talking about him right there. He has not made a pit stop yet. He is P2 right now in class. Watch for him to possibly come in this time. Mitch Heller just hit pit road. So I would guess. And David Shutt. So I'm going to guess Chris will hit here as well. Yep, here he comes. Mark Wilson as well. So everybody looks like they're going to be completing pit stops. Roman also, I believe it's Roman Bakov, I believe is how you say his last name. Do not quote me on that last name. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but looks like that will pretty much wrap up the green flag cycle pit stops, with the exception of David Berry and Kevin Kyle, who I'm going to guess will hit pit road probably this time. We'll wait and see, but they would hold the lead right now in GTD class. There's Terry Dahl trying to run back down. He just actually retook second place from Chris Mendez. So Terry moves back into second. As we look a little bit further back in the field, still waiting on David Berry to hit pit road. Should come this time as they work through turn number 1. He's getting passed right there by the 25. William Kabbalah, or not yet, but here he goes through turn 1. Watch for David to hit pit road this time. Yep, here he comes. All right, so that's all going to cycle back through. It will be David Shutt, Colin Weatherholt up front now in LMP2s. Mitch Heller, Terry Dahl still first and second. GTE. David Berry going to lose lead eventually to Nikhil, who's under a lot of pressure, Joe, here for Paul Gibson.
Yeah. I think Paul, his strategy, I think, right now is to kind of just ride in behind Nikhil, kind of just see, kind of ride behind him, kind of see where he possibly is making a mistake, and kind of use that area to kind of set up a passing opportunity. As it looks like he's kind of getting a good drive down the straightaway here. He's going to kind of take the outside line going in the corner, but see if he can somewhat cross him up possibly.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of, what you just said, pretty much he's just seeing where he can push the issue if he needs to or not. Right now, it kind of looks like he's just riding, see where he's better than Nikhil to maybe try to make a pass or wait for Nikhil to make a mistake, which is very known to happen.
Yeah, one thing, a good driver knows too is if you can get close to that guy you're racing in front, you can just ride right there, right on him, stay within half a second of him and just, push him really hard. You can almost usually push him into a mistake, making a little bit of a mistake that gives you an opportunity to make a pass on him.
So let me ask you Let me ask you, because you've been in a situation where you're leading, do you tend to mirror drive? I know that's not a good thing to happen, but I think everybody does it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's a common factor, in racing. You see that guy, he's on you.
Yeah.
You're gonna tend to want to make sure you don't let him by. You'll notice these guys on the straightaways. If the guy behind starts to make a move somewhere, the guy in front's going to move over and try to block it. So, you can definitely say they're definitely mirror driving. But at the same time, they've got to watch how much they mirror drive, because that's where they open themselves up to make a mistake.
For sure, as we are getting ready to come to 4 laps to go next time by. Oh, a little wheel lock up there for the 42. And we'll see. This is very familiar. We've seen this a couple weeks ago. Paul Gibson pretty much did the same thing, riding real close to Nikhil, trying to force the mistake to happen. Nikhil wanted to win here for a long time, but Gibson's not going to let it go easy, that's for sure.
Paul got a really good run out of that last corner. He's going to set him up down here, down through a Rouge, and I would not be surprised if you see him pull out down the straightaway, trying to make a pass. That's the thing. The BMW has really good straight line speed, but the Lamborghini is really, really good through the corners.
Yeah, kind of surprised. Both them guys, part of the same team. As you see Paul looking out, not going to be able to make the pass yet, but you see the same team running different cars. That's a pretty interesting strategy on that. Huh.
Well, it kind of shows you there's, there's some parity.
That's for sure.
Both cars are battling for the win, so there's not one dominant car.
Yeah. Well. So right now we are coming to 3 laps to go next time by at the line, as David Shutt continues to be the overall leader here in LMP2. Mitch Heller leading the class in GTE, followed by Terry Dahl, and then of course Nikhil and Paul Gibson back here battling it out for that top spot in GTD, which is the closest battle we got right now, so that's why we're mainly focused on that than anything else. Good opportunity right here for Gibson to get a run using that draft on the straightaway. See if he can make a move here in the final couple corners. Here he goes. A little bit of a block there. Joe looks like being put on as well, which is smart. You don't want to give him the inside line. Really, you got to predict which line you want here, whether it be the inside or outside.
Yeah, I mean, Nikhil's doing what he's got to do right now to keep Paul behind. He's running that defensive line.
Yeah.
You know, if he thinks Paul can jump up the inside, he's going to run the inside down the straightaway, not to give him that preferred racing groove. He's going to force him on the outside where, you know, even on our races, as Paul hit the inside wall in the last corner there. So hopefully, I don't know if that's going to hurt any kind of straight line speed or anything.
Nikhil would be hoping that it does.
Right? It did open up a little bit of a gap, So, you know, one thing also to take into effect, iRacing does with their awesome rendering and you know utilization of the sim, they have marbles and stuff on the track.
Yeah.
You know, that's off the racing line, and the tires will pick them up, so it will lose a little bit of grip. So you know, you kind of put that guy that's trying to really make a pass on it. If you put him over into the marbles, you know, it's a little bit less grip for him, and you know, it'll make it to where he's really got to work twice as hard to make to execute the pass on you.
And Joe's a short track racer. He knows all about the marbles.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the other guys out there that race short tracks know about them as well. When you say marbles, by the way, that is not rock, is it? That is like rubber, correct?
No, it's just rubber built up, excess rubber.
Yeah, the tires get hot and it just picks it up.
Yeah.
And trust me, iRacing has that. That's the thing, like Joe said. They do have that implemented, which is pretty cool that a sim can actually have literally marbles being put down on the track. Got David Shutt right here behind these guys as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this kind of shakes into their battle. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely interested there. Both do a pretty good job. Really a little sketchy here for a moment, but
it's always tough because if you're in David's shoes, these two guys are battling for their own class win, but you're also you're probably at least twice as fast as them.
Yeah.
At every portion of the track, and you're just like, man, let me just get by these two guys and get on my way and go on about my business and not affect their race and not ruin my race at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like right now, I think you're a little bit lenient with what they're going through because he's got a pretty good gap, but you got to realize, or he realizes who's behind him in class, Colin Weatherholt. He realizes that he does not want him to have a chance, at even winning this race. So, still got to push it a little bit. And here comes Weatherholt around these two guys as well.
And one thing to point out as well, Colin's been on a run right here, man. He's been putting in some really good laps, and
Bidwell's on pit road.
I'm actually surprised to see he's really kind of closed in the gap from when David pitted. Looked like David had about a 9 to 10 second lead on him when the pit cycle ended here, and Collins already closed that down to 6 seconds. It doesn't look like he's going to get him by the end of the race, but I mean that's a really, really good rebound from the incident that he had with Ross to really bounce back and actually somewhat start to run down David for the lead. After what happened earlier, we thought, that was possibly going to ruin any chance of even getting back on the podium, but, he drove the wheels off of this thing.
What's interesting to me about it is Bidwell just hit pit road and took gas only, so I'm wondering, Ryan hasn't done it, so I think that Weatherholt should be okay, but maybe Bidwell just didn't put enough gas in during his pit stop. I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing, like I said, I realized last week, racing with these guys, at least in the GT classes now, you don't have to necessarily put in as much fuel as you used to with this multi-class because the lap counter is going off of LMP2.
Yeah.
So every time they lap you, you know, that puts you one less lap that you have to run in the race. So really, the GT classes, they're really only running about 14 to 15 laps.
For sure. White flag's going to be out this time. Or is it next time? Maybe it hasn't switched yet. Yep, there it is. Final lap is out this time for David Shutt. Did he? I thought he blinked out for a minute, but Mitch Hiller will also get the white flag, and these guys are coming to the white flag as well. Now the finish line for these guys is at the front as well, correct?
Yes, okay. It'll be through the hard right-hander.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Down to Eau Rouge will be the checker flag.
Okay. So can Paul Gibson? This is our closest position battle, so that's why we're focused a lot on this. Here comes Gibson looking to the left side. Going to have the line. Not going to be able to do much with it though, as Nikhil has the preferred line going in. Joe, them types of turns, you know, that little S-top turn, do you prefer having the inside line going in, or would you rather have it on the exit?
Well, with it being an S, if you can kind of get beside them on the outside on the first set, it'll allow you to get the inside on the second one. Ooh, is he?
Almost got him.
Yeah, they touched bumpers there.
Nikhil's really pushing hard here.
As well as Paul, they're giving it 110% right now.
Yeah, it's probably the best race we've seen Nikhil drive, and you can see the darkness has set in. We were talking about how tough it is to see here. I mean, all you pretty much see is headlights on these cars, so, and tail lights, of course.
At this point, probably neither one of these guys even realize it's dark.
Yeah, they're focused on what's in front of them.
Yeah.
Coming to the checkered flag. This time it will be David Shutt looking for the checker flag. We will jump back immediately following this to the LMP or GTD. Checker flag is out. David Shutt wins a big race here at Spa. Jumping back now to LM or GTD. Very close battle here as we got a couple more turns here left for Nikhil Kopker and for Paul Gibson. Here they go, side by side.
Paul's gonna run it in on the inside. Oh, I got him.
He's got him for now. They're gonna be side by side.
Nikhil's, yep.
This is gonna be good here in the last turn.
It's gonna be tight. Nikhil's almost got to run him a little bit wide here in the last corner.
Got to get on it. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
A drag race. Who can get up through the gears quicker?
It looks like at the start-finish line.
Looks like Nikhil.
I think he got him. Nikhil got him. Paul got him. Yep, Paul got him by 3/100,000ths of a second. Wow. That's our closest race we've seen ever in here. Mitch Heller also looking for the checkered flag. Can't forget about everybody's favorite driver, Mitch Heller. Looking for the checkered flag here as he works off the final corner. Mitch Heller, once again, puts it in victory lane over Terry Dahl and picks up the victory here at Spa. Joe, I'll be back. We're going to go take care of our interviews. We'll be right back. What a finish from our drivers, man. That was a heck of a finish in GTD. We may actually have to send that finish into iRacing. I'm not going to lie. That was probably the closest finish I've seen in a road race that I broadcasted. And it was clean. That's what I liked about it. And I'm sure Nikhil's probably not the most happy with it right now, as he shouldn't be. I mean, why should he be? You know what I mean? But either way, good job for all of, or both of them guys. Congratulations to our winners as well, as they put it in victory lane here tonight. We're going to wait just a moment here for some drivers to move in. Once they do, we will talk to them as always. And you can see what we talked about, having enough gas. You got to have enough gas to make it back around. If you do not make it around, it's a 4-point penalty. So guys like Colin Weatherholt's definitely hoping he's got enough to make it back around. Yeah, he's actually, you can hear him. He's actually clutching right now in that car. So He's got to make it just a little bit further here to make it back to pit lane. If not, it's a big penalty if he does lose it. I believe he'll be okay, though. Same as David Shutt. He needs to make sure he can make it here as well. Looks like almost all these drivers are kind of saving right now. Something we don't normally talk about. You have to have enough to get back to the start-finish line or to the pit road entry. And there you see it. Both of them will make it back. And then Mitch Heller as well. He's going to be good. Same as Paul Gibson. And them guys will be good as well. And there is your Paul Gibson, winner of GTD. And probably the closest finish we have had on trackside, especially in a road race ever. And a very exciting finish between Nikhil and Paul Gibson. We're going to be sending that one to iRacing, I believe, for both of them guys for a top 10 of the month. I think that would be pretty cool if they got that. And from here, we will talk to the winner of GTD, Paul Gibson, with a very late race pass on Nikhil, and probably the closest finish we've ever had in not only Red Sox, but definitely trackside. I'm going to be sending that to top 10 on iRacing because that was fantastic. Talk us through that, man.
That was an awesome race.
That was. You guys were nose to tail the entire race.
Yeah, we were just, we're like in the Discord together, so we were just having a good time, just giving each other crap and talking back and forth and stuff. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Man, talk us through the last couple turns. It looked like he made just a slight mistake and left you the inside to the exit, which is very important. And then you was able to get a big run through that, through the hairpin on the final corner. I thought he would run you a little bit wide. He didn't, of course. Raced you really clean. But, man, you got to be ecstatic with the racing you guys put on.
Yeah, that was just a lot of fun. I'd have been fine with, however we finished, whatever order we finished in, because that was just such a good race.
It was.
But yeah, the BMW pulls so well through third and fourth gear. And it just seems like whenever you come off a third or fourth gear corner, that BMW pulls like 10, 15 feet. And it takes the Lambo through fifth or sixth gear to get back to the BMW.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was there a reason why both you guys chose different cars? I know y'all are teammates. Was there a certain reason?
So I drove the BMW here, and it was faster on raw lap time early, and then it kind of stabilized. I picked the the Lambo just because I was like, I think maybe it'll probably be better right at the end. As long as I can just kind of stay in the draft for the race, I might have something at the end. I knew I was going to be a sitting duck as soon as a green flag dropped, down that first straightaway. So, my plan was just to try to hold on, try to jump him in the pits. I was a little too conservative on how much fuel I took, so I had a little too much in the tank, but it was all right. It was still a good race. So
it made it fun for us.
That was fun.
Yeah, we loved it, man. That was, like I said, that was one of the closest finishes we've had. I think this may lock up the championship. I don't want to crown that yet until we know for sure. But either way, man, shout outs on all that. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, big shout out to Nikhil. I mean, just great race, clean. Man, that was just so much fun. And then to the PG-13 folks, and then the winners here too. So that looks like David Shutt won and Mitch also. So good, congrats to them.
Yeah, it looks like Nikhil's getting better and better each week, man. I've noticed it from the start of the season.
He is.
He's getting good. Yep. So hey, good job of that, man.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Next up, everybody's favorite driver, Mitch Heller, with another victory here at Spa. And I think I can officially say that because it is true. I mean, you literally bring a fan club. Is it true that you race in flip-flops? That's what I was told.
Well, you know what? Actually, quite often I am wearing them, and I would prefer not having anything on the feet for a better feel on the pedals.
I hear you. Man, tonight at Spa, it's a fun place to race. The lights slowly started going out, and you was able to outrace Terry here once again at Spa. This is a big win because this is a big track to win out.
Yeah, lots of space. Takes a little while to get around. It's really fun. I felt like I was able to get out and just get a flow. And by doing that, it just seemed as though I was able to extend the lead lap after lap. And, and it actually got kind of quiet. It took a while for the faster cars to catch up as well, too. So
That
just
is
a good
true.
time.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
We was talking about, we didn't know if they would be able to. We didn't think they'd be able to catch the GTE twice. We knew it could happen once. We wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Man, talk about it though, dude. You're not too far now from winning the championship. We go to Montreal next week, and I don't want to crown you that yet either because you and Terry still in a pretty good race. I mean, you got a pretty good points lead, but Montreal could be the whole turning point where it's basically your championship to lose at that point.
Yeah. So I do need to spend some time at that track. I haven't gotten a lot of experience racing there, but it's a fun track. Definitely a little bit different, and I need to put some work into it. I'm feeling more confident about Imola. And how do you say it? Is it Belle Isle in
Yeah,
Michigan?
I don't really know. I'm from Tennessee, so you know. We
Right.
don't really know.
So I feel pretty good about those next two tracks, but the next race, I do need to put some work in for that track. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think you was right. I think it was Belle Isle. I'm looking forward to that one. That's one of my favorite ones that we actually get to race again this year. So, man, another victory. Shout outs and all that you want to give out?
I'd like to give a shout out to yourself, Les and Terry, for running this rig, all the guys that show up, and of course all the folks that tune in to watch. So
There's
thanks.
a lot of them you need to thank on that because you literally have like 7 people cheering you on. It seems like. Hey,
That's
good
awesome.
job, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam.
You too. All right, we will go get our thoughts from Big Daddy Joe Burchett over here on Discord. I had to do it, Joe. Man, what a finish. That's something you don't see very much of in a road race.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you'd see, a super speedway, oval race. Not something you're gonna see for
At a Spa.
a sprint race at Spa. Going into darkness.
Yeah.
So hats off to those two, especially with Paul and Nikhil. But congratulations as well to David and Mitch. They both ran flawless races on their end as well, and everybody pretty much that runs in this, man, they all put in 110%, and it shows every week. They probably one of the more competitive road leagues out there,
100%.
and these guys show it every week. Why?
Yeah, 100%. That's one reason why they've been around so long. We've talked about it before on how much work goes into this. But, guys, that will do it for us tonight. We will see you guys Sunday night. We hope everybody enjoyed their time here. Adam Chapman, Joe Burchett. Y'all take it easy. Have a great night. Take care as always. God bless.